Hello, everyone. Today I'm joined by Tina. With more than 2 decades in the fitness industry, Tina Toner is a Montreal Global News fitness expert and renowned for spearheading Montreal's fastest growing boot camp, helping thousands of trainees to transform their physique and mindset. As the owner of Recharge Fitness Retreat, she organizes wellness escapes to the Caribbean and continues to inspire women and men around the globe with her lifestyle improvement, nutrition, and fitness plans. Today, Tina is going to be sharing with us how to never get demotivated again. Welcome, Tina.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jacob. Hello, everybody. And for those of you who are watching right now, so excited to go through this with you. I wanted to do this topic specifically because there are periods in our life where we just do not feel motivated. And people can tell you, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. And you know it to be true, but just something inside of you just does not allow you to get started. And sometimes you get started and then something inside of you does not allow you to keep going. So I really wanted to talk about this by first starting out with an example. I'm going to bring you back to a story of myself in Barbados. My family is in Barbados. And we have a car over there. I should say we had a car over there. It was a Suzuki Sidekick. I don't even think they make those anymore. This car was so incredibly old, and I depended on it because we couldn't at the time afford anything else that was better. And I would be driving down the street with this car, and every single few weeks or so, the car would just completely just and then just die. But because I was so used to it, I knew what to do to get it going again. So I would sit there for a moment, I would press on the gas, and then it would putter along for about maybe 10 feet. And then I would wait a little bit, then I would press on the gas, and then it would putter along for about 20 feet. And then finally, I would press on the gas, and then it would take me all the way home. And this was literally every single time I was in Barbados. And when I was thinking about that story, I realized that that car and motivation are the same thing. Right? We have this idea that motivation is supposed to be a forever thing. You get into the job that you love, you get into this, you get involved with a relationship, and you're always supposed to be super motivated to make things work and to go to work. And that's not reality. The reality is that most of the time we are going to have those moments of just puttering along. And then, of course, when you get your groove, you can feel motivated for a while until something comes along and then it might demotivate you again. Right? So at this particular time, a lot of gyms are closed. People's fitness classes are, they're not happening anymore. Maybe some of them are happening online. And it's really, really hard for people to self-motivate, especially when they've been depending on somebody else to deliver their workouts. And for those of you who want to get fit, but you haven't even gone to a gym, I really want this to be geared towards just getting super healthy, getting super fit on your own terms, motivating yourself. But also, if you're not really that interested in fitness, but there's another area of your life that you really want to get more motivated in, I think this is going to help you too. So before we get into, how to get motivated and all fired up, I really want to talk about some of the reasons that you could be demotivated in the first place. And it's going to be a list. All right. So the first one is that the goal is not yours. What I mean by that is, suppose somebody says to you, you would be such an amazing hairstylist. You're such a great hair cutter. And you say, you know what? I really am pretty good. I guess I could be really good. And they say, you really should start a business. Maybe I could start a business. So they just start planting those seeds in your head and you think, because you're talented, maybe you could really go out and start a business. But that might be their vision for you. It might not be your vision for you. Mm-hmm. And if you go ahead and start the business and it doesn't really work out, chances are it's because you were not that passionate. Maybe it was more of a hobby. So the goal has to be yours for you to really, really be very motivated in the long term. It's the same thing with weight loss, right? Somebody will tell you, oh, you look fantastic in that picture. I saw you in that bikini picture on Facebook. And then you say, oh my gosh, that picture was 10 years ago and I was 30 pounds thinner. And right away you think to yourself, a lot of people compliment that picture. Maybe I should lose 30 pounds. And so you start adopting these thoughts from other people thinking, okay, 30 pounds is what I got to lose. Now you're on this journey to lose 30 pounds, but you were actually feeling pretty good before anybody said anything about that picture, right?
Yeah.
So number two is if it is your goal, but it's an old goal. And what I mean by that is maybe when you were 19 years old, you had a goal to fit into a size 5. And now you are 45 years old and you never met that size 5 goal. So you're thinking to yourself, that's still my goal. That's still my goal. But sometimes you have to reevaluate yourself. You have to say to yourself, you know what, maybe fitting into a size 5 is no longer my goal. Maybe I want to just be super healthy. Maybe I want to be happy in mind, body, and spirit. Like it's just about reevaluating the time that you're in currently in your life. Sometimes you know exactly what you want, but you do not have a clear vision of it. So, you say to yourself, what is my professional goal? Well, I want to make money. Okay, how much money do you want to make? A lot, right? Imagining, for example, that you have like this arrow and you close your eyes and you put your arms right up and then you just let it go, right? But you don't have anything in particular to aim at. It makes it a lot harder for you to stay motivated unless you have a very, very clear picture. You know exactly what you are targeting, right? For those of you who are watching, I can't see you, but nod your head if you agree, because I believe that you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Then there's, of course, also, you know exactly what you want. You have a very, very clear vision, but the problem is you don't have a plan of action, right? So now you say to yourself, okay, so what is it that I want to do professionally? I want to make a lot of money. Really? How much do you want to make? $25,000 a month. Great. Now, how are you going to do it? I don't know, right? So if you don't know how you want to get there, then it also makes it demotivating because all you see are all these things ahead of you and you're thinking, gosh, I want this so badly, I just don't know where to start. And of course, we've got you knowing exactly what you want. You have a very clear vision of it. You even have a plan of action, but you have no mental or physical energy. And what I mean by that is there are so many people, and I'm going to say I see it in men, but I really, really see it in women. And I specifically see it in moms. Moms that are busy professionals and they've got their business or they're working for somebody else. They come home, they've got to make food for the children, but they have this goal that they want to get super fit and healthy. They just don't have the energy anymore, right? Well, that is not always a question of limited time or limited energy. That's what it appears as, but it's actually priorities. It's about trying to find a way to make that a priority to you because we always find time for the things that are important to us. Okay, so now that I think I might have nailed a few of you on the head here with why you might be getting demotivated, I want to start by talking about how you can actually get and stay motivated. So I want you to think for a second about that goal that you have. Just think about it. It could be something fitness related. It could be something professional related. Whatever it is, I want you to keep just one goal in your mind. And I want you to just hold on to it. And as you think about it, I want you to think how you would feel if this actually comes into fruition. Like if you can actually make this happen, how do you feel? Does it get you excited? And now I want you to think, if this goal never happens and my life stays exactly as it is today, as you sit in this chair and you watch this, how am I going to feel then? Right? If your life never changes. Now, I don't know about you, but I know that for me, whenever I have these big, grand goals and I think about where I am and where I want to be, if my life never changed from the point that I made that goal, I would be pretty depressed about it, right? I want things to happen. I want to take action. Okay, so if you do get excited about that goal, then that's what I want you to keep in mind the next time you start to get demotivated. I want you to think about if this doesn't happen, I'm going to feel pretty bad. And if it does happen, I'm going to feel pretty darn amazing, okay? So here are some steps, pretty simple. The first thing, if you really want to get and stay motivated, is that you need to have a long-term goal, but you also have to have short little mini-term goals leading up to it. And what I mean by that is you've got this long-term goal where you want to lose, let's say, 50 pounds. That means that you also have to, in order to get there, set smaller mini goals to get there. So what it might look like for you is to lose 50 pounds, I've got to exercise 2 or 3 days a week. I've got to drink more water. I've got to go for some walks. I've got to reduce the sugar. And you can start making these little mini goals every single day. Once you start reaching them, you're going to start seeing the results. And then your long-term goal is going to be reached. And that's in every single area of your life. So you need to have a long-term goal. That's the end. And then you need to have those short-term goals. And those are going to keep you going. They also have to fit with your lifestyle. Like if your neighbor is a triathlete, you can't watch this person wake up every single morning and running before the crack of dawn. If you hate mornings and you're not a morning person, if it doesn't suit your lifestyle, then you don't have to follow that plan. If you don't like drinking water, you don't have to drink 8 glasses every single day, like people are constantly trying to push at you. Why don't you start with as much as you can drink in a day? An honest effort. Just do what you can. Just make it a little bit more suitable to you. You're still going to get results as long as you're doing the right things, even if it's in smaller steps. You need supportive people around you. I don't know about you, but I know I used to be the kind of person, I would say I'm not so much this way anymore, definitely in my younger years. Everybody could compliment me with these wonderful things. Oh, Tina, you're so great at this, you're so good at that. But if one person said something nasty to me, that's where my attention would be. What? And then, of course, I would go to all those people that complimented me and say, is that true? That's what they said. And they'd say, no, I told you already, So it's so much easier to believe something negative than it is to believe something positive. And why I'm sharing this with you is because if you are around people that are supportive, you're basically building an army of people on your journey. You're building people that are going to say, go, go, go. Even if one person says to you, I'm not really seeing the changes in you, or you don't really look like you've lost any weight, or whatever it is that your goal is, you have people that are on your team that can constantly build you up. So really take stock of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And once you know exactly what you want to do for your goals, start really thinking about your support team and ask yourself, are these people actually supporting me? Or are they the kind of people that with little tiny things will try to chip away at me and try to bring me down? Okay, because that's really important. You've got to recognize your progress. Now, progress is one of these things where I think I saw it it was probably on a meme or something like that. They showed like the A, and then they showed the B. And what we wish that it could be like is the straight line. But what it really is like is that zigzag, crazy, swivelly line, right? That's getting to success at any area of our life. And as you're going along any journey at all, it's really important for you to start recognizing your progress. And by that, I mean, you need some sort of a gauge so that you can sort of be pulled back and say, well, that's where I used to be. I might not be where I want to be, but I am no longer where I used to be. And that is so amazing. You need to be able to celebrate those moments. So to do that, is it going to be testing your strength every single week? Is it going to be seeing how long you can last on a cardio machine every single week, week after week that you improve? Is it going to be your clothing measurements? I'm personally not a big fan of the scale. I don't really push my clients to get on the scale or weigh themselves often because it's a very, very quick way to demotivate you if you rely on that number to tell you your progress. It doesn't really tell you your progress at all. And so if you find a way that works for you, then you start feeling more motivated every single week about, how far you're going. Rewarding yourself is another thing that is going to keep you motivated. Now, I'm not speaking about with food, and I think a lot of people used to get it twisted. They would go ahead and they'd lose all this weight, and they would reward themselves with Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is not about that at all. It's really about pampering yourself, and by that I mean nurturing yourself. See, you have to realize that when it comes to any kind of a journey, a fitness journey specifically, or getting healthy journey, you have to remember that this is not just about jumping on a treadmill and cutting out sugar. It's very much a mental and even a spiritual, in a lot of ways, experience. You have to really get in touch with your deeper self, because on the days that you're ready to give up, you have to remember why you started.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to rewarding yourself for those little tiny steps that you've made, whether it's you've gotten stronger or you've gone down 2 inches on your waist or whatever it is that is going to be your gauge, go get yourself a massage. Go get yourself a manicure, pedicure. Go get yourself some new outfits. Whatever it is that makes you feel good, that is not food related, is going to be the best way that you can take care of your spirit. And of course, we've got removing the obstacles and excuses. So that to me is a really important one to share, because something as simple as this, when I used to work in an office many, many, many years ago, I was probably in my early 20s. I had an office job and I was working downtown, which is about 30 minutes away from where I live. And I would be finished work at about 5 p.m., punch out, and if I did not go straight to the gym and I made a detour for home, I would just never leave the house. And I'd be like, getting dark out, can't go out again. I'd be staying at home. So I started to wear my sports bra underneath my clothing, and I started to do things like bring a handful of nuts for after work, but before my training, so that I wouldn't feel hungry, so that I would not have to go home for any reason. And if you remove those obstacles and excuses, then it makes it a lot easier for you to get started. You literally are not giving yourself a chance to let that voice in your head say no. Now, those are all of the things on a grand scale, but just in your immediate environment. If you just look around, here are some things that you can do just to motivate yourself as far as training goes, just on a regular day-to-day basis. So you need to dedicate a small space for training. Now, I'm speaking to the person who probably, of course, is used to gym training and they're no longer able to do it, or maybe they have never trained in their life, but they do want to get started. If you set up a small little space, such as putting a yoga mat down, maybe a big towel down, you're basically saying, this space right over here in this corner of the room is my training space. I will not step into it unless I'm ready to exercise and sweat. Kind of like your office. You go to sleep in your bedroom, you go to the washroom in the washroom. Every place has a designated task, right? It's the same thing with training. If you create a designated space, you're going to honor and respect it. Putting some equipment down there, like maybe couple of dumbbells, and keeping it out in the open, not tucking it underneath the bed, not putting it in the closet. I'll just take it out when I'm ready for it. Like that ready for it will never come, right? Out of sight, out of mind. You've got to keep it visible and say to yourself, 2-3 days a week, 1-2 days a week, I'm going to go to that designated space in the room. Tell people that you're doing it. And I know sometimes we get shy, especially if we're kind of like creeping into a certain area that we're not that familiar with. You know, we might, I don't know if I want anybody to know, because if I fail or if I stop, everybody's going to be asking me about it. But if you tell somebody that you trust and somebody that is supportive of you, then you feel a bit accountable, because you let somebody know that you're actually serious about this. You can even ask a friend to get involved and join you on this journey. Have a program handy at all times. And that just means if you cannot create your own program, don't just wing it and don't just depend on your lack of knowledge to know what to do. You can get on a YouTube video. You can get a friend who knows more than you do to train you online. You can just print yourself an online program, thousands and thousands of free programs online. And, you just need something that you can follow that's going to keep you motivated. And if you like music, create a playlist. If you like podcasts, listen to a podcast, right? Listen to it on the cardio. Whatever it is that is going to inspire you to stay on a little bit longer. I don't personally like to train with dead silence. I actually like to have something. So for me, I appreciate podcasts and different things that are really going to allow me to either concentrate or pumped up music that's going to get me going. And finally, if you have all of your equipment out, you have a program, and you're just not motivated, then I want you to reach out to me. I want you to reach out to me because I am giving everybody a very special gift. And thanks to Jacob, he's allowed me to do this for you guys. It is a $100 gift certificate, basically, that allows you to train with me online. It gives you a session, it gives you a program, and it also allows me to see all of your nutrition needs and your physical needs for your personal goal. So that's it for today. I hope that I left you with some interesting information that you guys can apply to your life.
That's amazing. I think there were some really good tips in there. I feel like I fall into a lot of those categories. Keep the weights under the bed because I don't want the bedroom to look messy. You know what? Then they sit there collecting dust.
Well, let me ask you, Jacob, when was the last time you did a home workout with those weights?
I can't even remember.
Okay. So exactly. So you and anybody else that's watching can probably relate to that exactly. And if I can be honest, I mean, I owned a boot camp, so I had tons of equipment and I still do. But what happened was when this whole virus situation happened and everybody was confined to their homes, it was the first time that I personally went out to my shed and I got out all the equipment that I could possibly use in my home. Mm-hmm. And I realized that because it was out of sight, out of mind, it never would have crossed my mind to just do it because it had to be right in my view. And now it sits right behind me. And every time I pass it, if I don't get in my workout, I feel like, I've got to go. Like it's calling me, Yeah.
I totally get that. If you could give one piece of advice to anyone who's watching, say they had maybe just 2 minutes with you, what advice would you give them?
About anything?
About anything, or as it relates to fitness in this topic. They said, I'm really feeling down and you said, I only have 2 minutes. Here's my advice that I can give you.
Well, I really think that it's two things. It's, if you're feeling down or if you're feeling like you don't really know what the heck to do, and this could be in regard to any part of your life, you need a moment of real reflection. You need to kind of shut out the voices of what your friends and what people are telling you. And you have to ask yourself, what do I really, really want? And then once you've possibly written it down or just gotten clear, even if you're not 100% clear on what you want, action. You need to take action in some direction. People will just sit with inaction for a very, very, very long time. And I would rather somebody just go out for a walk than sit at home on the couch. If it's between, training with weights or something else, I'd rather them at least just walk, like just take some action. And you'll start noticing that the more action you take, the better you'll actually start to feel, because we know that physical action is great for our happy hormones, as they say, the endorphins. So even if you are feeling not so great, taking some form of physical action is going to lift up your spirits. And then if your spirits are lifted, you might be able to think more clearly. So that's what I would tell them.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. I'm more of a runner than a weight trainer. And I have to say that after I go for a run, once I complete that, 5K, 7K, whatever, however far I go, even if it's a 2K run, when I get back from that, there's a great sense of feeling of accomplishment and saying, you know what, I did that. I'm this much farther than I am the day before. So it's all about that action. And once you get in motion, that action just keeps happening because you start experiencing that high, and it's like the runner's high, right? It's like, yes, I just want to keep doing this over and over and over again. And the pain is worth it. Tina, where can people find you if they're trying to find more information about you?
Well, I think the best way is probably on Facebook. If that's, I have my websites, but I think Facebook is a direct, more personal contact where they can reach out to me, but I'll leave both information. Tina Kissavos on Facebook, TinaKissavos. And for my website, it would be MontrealPersonalTrainer.com. MontrealPersonalTrainer.com.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Tina. This was a great, very informational session. I think people will get a lot of value out of it.
Good. I hope so. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.